Welcome everyone to our July Fierce Leader Team call. We're cruising through the months, and I think that July is, well, we'll talk about what are some things that we think are coming up and the fun of that. So Melissa, why don't you take it away with recognition from June?
Awesome. So from June to July, we are now at 1,930 Fierce Oilers, and we had 6 enrollments in June. So congratulations to Pam Jensen and Amy Baumitz with 1 enrollment, and Emily Rashid and myself had 2 enrollments. So it was a solid month. I am excited about the potential for this month to reach people just living our everyday lives. I've been re-engaged and listening to Dana Moore's Tipster Tuesdays. I know Sonia and I have been talking about that. There's some really awesome nuggets in what she talks about. And one of the things, she gave an example. I was trying to find it tonight, but there was a lot going on. I was trying to do a little audio clip of her talking about beach towels. Did anybody else hear her talking about that? Sonia did. So she was talking about how, how everything listens to what you're listening to. So all of a sudden on Facebook and everywhere, these ads were popping up for these really cool beach towels that repel sand and are the most amazing things. And it wasn't that she wasn't ever interested in the beach towels. She was, but it was like taking her, now we're all going to get ads for beach towels. But it was like she just needed the right time, and she listened. The ads were popping up. She saw people with them, and one day she was like, "Today's the day," and they were like $22 a piece, and she ordered them, and she absolutely loves them. And her point is, it takes between 7 and 12 touches average for somebody to actually say, yes, I want to buy that. And so we are out there living our lives this summer. Amy, you're at the beach with your kids. Sonia, your daughter has all these activities that she's doing. We're all doing things. Laura Whip and Dan are going to be traveling. I'm assuming you guys are like the traveling people. And so we're out there, we're meeting people, we're introducing ourselves. We're just listening to people and loving on them. And one of the things that Dana talked about that really captured my attention is the need for us to have a tracking system. And she's like, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you finish talking to somebody, you get in your car and you take notes on your phone. But she's saying she needed something like Trello. She uses Trello. And I actually just logged into it and I'm looking at it. I have a wicked plain spreadsheet that I use called MW Enrollments and Warm Market. And after I meet somebody, I'll go home and I'll put in the date and where I met them and their name and anything I can remember about what we talked about, just some facts about them that I might want to follow back up with them on, because I really do authentically care for them. And down the line, that might turn into an oil sale and it might not. But the point is, you're out there this summer, and I just want to encourage you in the month of July to be introducing yourself, meeting people, and using your products while you're out there and seeing what shakes up.
That's so funny. I was thinking about um July and how, July has started and it's been like a weekend and a holiday and then a Monday kind of off and all these things. And I've been thinking oh my goodness, what's happening? It feels strange to me to have that time off, and kind of plays with my brain. And I said that in my mind, I was like, well, the goal of July is to connect with as many people as possible. Like, how many people can I possibly connect with? So that's really funny. We didn't talk about that, but I was thinking that same thing. And I think you have a really good point about tracking it. So thank you. Also, don't forget to redeem your free oil if you haven't done that yet from the Devana and the Precious Florals promotion. Make sure that you're doing that. Melissa, do you want to give us a quick update on your caregiving call with you and Jerry, or do you want to save that since Jerry wasn't able to be on?
Oh yeah, I think it went well. We had 19 people registered, and we had 14 people on with me and Jerry, and Laura Shields was on. So she jumped in and she managed the chat room for us. It was a really interesting group of people who have either, like Bev Byer was on, and she just lost her husband. People who are either freshly grieving somebody or somebody who's anticipating having to do that. They wanted more. They asked for another one, so we're going to do it again in July. I believe it is Wednesday, July 21st at 8 p.m. I'll have a link out. Please feel free to invite people. But I thought that it clearly was a really good example of like, Jerry and I have a cross section of people who are strongly in that sector of caring for people. And we're not talking just older people, we're talking about helping care for adult children that are in a situation where they need help, helping care for grandchildren. It kind of ran the whole gamut. But yeah, please invite your people.
I think that your response you had just goes to show that when you pick a focused topic for what we already know, like the response is so strong when we focus in on a topic. So whatever, I'm curious to see what other topics pop up as we're all thinking about, we all have different zones of genius.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
because that's true, because Susan's been really wanting to do a Zoom on emotions, like the exact topic that we do in CE, but dial it back a little bit and do more of like, here's some recipes you can make. And so we've got the PowerPoint made, and she and I are doing that class together on Tuesday, the 20th of August. So that will be happening then.
mhm. Um, Okay, these are just like a couple kind of talking points, but things that are, happening in the doTERRA world. If you didn't already know this, the incentive trip is to Jamaica next year, and they made it so the tracker lines up perfectly with Founders Club and the Jamaica incentive trip. So instead of being like two different trackers and two different things, you are like working towards both things at the same time. So I wanted, you can see those things in your back office. Keep an eye on those. I wanted to make sure you knew that. Something else that is coming up is my mom and I next week, is it next week, are going out to Utah for the Diamond Retreat. And so this is something that we qualified for. So we get to go out into the mountains in Utah. And the bottom line is, I think we're going to get some really interesting information while we're there. I think based on the agenda that they've created and the people who are going to be able to be with, I think there'll be some really good connections. And like I said, information. So I'm really excited about that. Did anyone catch? I don't think we're going to learn about these things, but in the Presidential Diamond big fancy trip, that they were like all crying about the new products. They were like tearful over them. And so I'm just, anyway, I think really exciting things are coming. Convention, keep that on your calendar. We're going to it's going to be here before we know it. I was hoping Em isn't able to be on. She's with her girls, putting them to bed still, but I imagine we'll all be giving her credit card information soon and trusting her with that. So we'll wait to hear more on that. Okay, Melissa, do you want to talk a little bit about what you've been doing, keeping an eye on people who haven't ordered for a while?
I'd be happy to. Can you give me 3 more words to help me remember what I'm doing?
So sometimes people used to fall off when they haven't ordered and been active, and now you have to like ask doTERRA to do it. And if you pay attention, you can shift the structure of your organization in a way that really blesses you when you catch that.
Yeah, I would really encourage you to be intentional every few months at looking at your back office, looking at key people in your first, second, and third and fourth levels. And sometimes it shows that they're still ordering and they really haven't ordered in 8 months.
A dead credit card.
Yeah, you have to really look through it. And then Sonia and I are working on a leg right now where we're going to help some people move off that have not ordered in more than 12 months. And that's just a simple email to placements. And if it's somebody's between 6 and 12 months since they ordered, then it would be a conversation with them asking if they're willing to move themselves. Send in an email, like we would give them the wording, right? And they would say, I'd like to move over here. And then everybody rolls up. And it could be really helpful in your power of 3. Something to look at. If you'd like to look at that, let me know. I'd be happy to go over that with you.
I had Laura Hadamio and I had a call as she's coming, back to life from having her baby. And one of the things that we talked about before she had Arrow was the concept of these 5-day challenges we've been doing. And the idea of what if it was like, and we talked about this, text classes, things like that whole idea. And one of the things that was interesting that she and I talked about is like adaptive is kind of like her jam, like emotional and mental wellness would be her zone of genius based on her career. And like once a month, if she like ran a 5-day adaptive challenge using broadcast, right? Like using something that sends it out, but like one oil, same topic, same thing every time. And I think repeating that month after month and really working on people. And I think that I just kind of like the idea of the simplicity of the same thing. That being said, if the, the capacity is different, it might be different. It might be, we talked about sleep one month or like, stress another month, and really working our way through different products. But I thought that was kind of interesting to look at like an adaptive challenge once a month. That's what I focus on. I connect with people, I sample the people, we do it, and then I follow up,
Kind
as,
of like the study, Amy? Is it kind of like what Brenda's doing with her people?
did I say study? I didn't mean to.
No, no, I'm just saying, is it like that? Is it?
Oh, I think it's very similar to a study. I think though that it's done in texting, which is key. So there's a couple things about a study. I'm like, it has to be a text to me, and then it has to be just one thing, and I have to tell them how to use it with like daily reminders. And so to me, that's like what a challenge fulfills, is like, I guess it is like a spin on a study, but it's like meets my criteria for how to communicate with people these days.
Hmm, interesting.
Okay, so it's July. I think chances are probably good. I do not know. No one knows except the people who've signed the non-disclosure agreements and will lose their rank if they're going to be BOGOs. I think there's a strong chance that there could be. And how many times have I been wrong about when it will be in a month? But it would have to be the 19th. Starting that would be my guess when you're looking at after the 15th. So I would just keep an eye on that week on your calendar. If you don't already have like a framework of how you do it or how you communicate, if you haven't already set up a texting service like Project Broadcast and like you've been waiting to do it, now's a good time to get that done, because it'll make your BOGO week really easy. So I just kind of wanted to put a bug in people's ear on that too.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anything else I'm missing?
The ladies, Jerry and Susan, are on their third class this summer. They were doing a series of 3, so this is their last one this Thursday night. If you have anybody, I don't know if either Laura or Sonia, but maybe somebody listening to this has somebody in the Chicago area, they're very open to having other people attend their things. And this is going to be Christmas in July. They're going to be making sample Christmas gifts. And the two of them are really hungry for an enrollment this month. And so they have a little enrollment room station set up. It's so cute how they're doing it. And they've got like cranberry spritzers and all sorts of fun things. So, and then they're going to reevaluate how this went and think about how they're going to move forward. But it's been a really good way to connect the two of them and their people down there. And it's gone great.
DIY summer drop-ins are definitely happening. There's one in Oshkosh that's going to happen at a yoga night and things like that. So that, which again is really just the concept of we've got the spray bottles and the rollers and the recipes, like, and connecting and making things in that way. Speaking of that, connecting with people. So that concept has, I think, been received really well. And so I would encourage you, if you have questions about that, or if you'd like to host one, if you're like, to see if you can get a DIY drop in on the calendar. I think they've been really fun connecting points and been well received.
The other thing I was going to say is a few months ago, Amy did like a customer appreciation text to people where she offered them either a diffuser booklet from Aroma Tools, or it was a roller bottle blend recipe booklet. And she did it in true Amy style in her flavor. And I just did it in mine, which was kind of scaled down. I only offered one booklet because I couldn't handle keeping track of who wanted what. It would blow my mind. So I just said, hey, it's Customer Appreciation Month. I really appreciate you and would love to send you a diffuser book if you would, or booklet. If you would like it, please text back yes and your address. And it did work. I actually got some updated addresses that I did not have. And really, when you're sending out 50 little booklets, it's a lot easier to have it all on your text, right? Instead of having to look it up.
I hate looking it up.
And I'd say I sent out 50 texts and I got 43 yeses.
Mhm.
So I did this. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I realized the importance of doing it at the very beginning of the month, or even like the last few days of the month before, because I was able to mail all of my little books out and my little love notes and a little calendar for the month of July with highlights like Laura Whipperman taught me, saying, I'm thinking about you. Or for somebody who had graduated from all of our CE classes, I put an arrow and highlighted the new nutrition line class and said, here's a new one you might want to check out. I got those all out by the 2nd of this month. And it just felt really good. It's been a long time since I felt good about something like that. It only took me 6 months to get that figured out. But if you need help with that, let me know.
Em did the booklets for customer appreciation in June too, and I think they were really well received.
Yeah.
Sonia and Laura Whip, anything you want to share, your wisdom and your genius with us while we're on?
Well, I'll go ahead and share. So Lindsay and I just love the idea of Mimi's new brand, Mimi on the Go. And so what I'm doing is going to people's houses and doing DIY recipes with them based on a topic that they like. And just doing it for them. Hey, invite a friend over. I'll come to your house. I'll bring everything. You just have your oils. And then Lindsay's version of that is, and she's not on the call because she's on a trip to Yellowstone right now. And there's no cell service or cell reception or anything. So what she's doing is Lindsay at the park. So she goes to a park near you, and you bring a friend, you bring your kids, and she'll do a DIY based on a topic that you like too. So that's kind of how we're spending our summer.
Mm-hmm.
How's it been going? Tell us something fun about it.
I'm getting to know, I feel like I know my customers. I'm unstable apparently right now. Am I back yet?
You're back.
I feel like, you know, I know my customers and I know some of their health goals and stuff, but just topics that are of interest to them, I'm really getting to know, hey, I really like cleaning, or I love making DIYs, or give me something for my kids or whatever. So like you said in your little handy dandy spreadsheet, Melissa, that's all I use too, is I do keep notes like that so that I can, when I do a text blitz, I can say, hey, I thought of you because. So just getting to build those relationships in a more personal way and finding out some favorites and likes of my customers.
That's great.
Those are really great ideas. Son, anything you want to share? I know you've been on a super fun trip.
No, not really. I'm tired.
I gotta go watch your live video. Okay, anything else, Merm?
No, I think that's just get out there and just be with people. It's where the magic happens.
Yeah, let's go connect and track it.
Yeah,
And
track it.
travel.
Somebody came into Superior Street Wellness, actually reached out to me and said, I got a sample from you 6 weeks ago, and I really want to talk about it. And she came in and I just stared at her because I hadn't written it down. And she said, you gave me 3 samples and I really love the one. And I said, oh, that's great. What about the other 2? And she said, I have no idea what you gave me. I don't remember. And I just really wish if I had written it down. It was a missed opportunity to have that conversation.
It happens. We've all been there. So we'll keep in touch in the text group and on the team app and in different ways as month gets rolling, but we hope you have like a really good start to your short week, and let's just have fun in July. Okay.
And the team call, right? The product call.
Yeah, I got to get that sign up sheet out. It is sweet, sweet summertime. Got to get on that. Bye, everybody.
Guys, talk to you later.